Welcome. You're watching Rugby with Rifle, a podcast about all things rugby and life, with your host, Danny Pabone and Rifle Scudder.
Welcome to Rugby with Rifle, a podcast about all things rugby and life. As always, I'm joined here by my friend Rifle. Rifle, how you doing, sir?
Doing very well, thank you, Danny. A little different this year because this time of the year, normally we get excited for the 4th of July for the fireworks and America's birthday, but we're doing that this year, and we've got some huge rugby games coming up on the 4th of July as well. So it's going to be a double whammy. It's going to be a huge 4th of July this year. So looking forward to both of those parties.
Yes, it's going to be a great time this summer with America's 200 turning 250. So that's a huge milestone for the country. Also, as you mentioned, 4th of July, we're going to start with something new and cool in the rugby world. In previous years, we've had the Rugby Championship, but this year we have the inaugural Nations Championship, which essentially pits the Northern Hemisphere teams against Southern Hemisphere teams. And it's very interesting, Rifle, because essentially you have the teams that play in the Six Nations Northern Hemisphere series against teams that play in the Rugby Championship, the Southern Hemisphere series or tournament. And then, you have, for example, you have the All Blacks, you have the Wallabies, you have the Springboks, you have the Pumas, but you also have Japan and Fiji who are joining the Southern Hemisphere teams. So yeah, it's a lot of exciting rugby this summer. I know we're going to be attending the game, the All Blacks versus the Springboks in September 12th in Baltimore. So that's going to be very exciting, even though it's not technically part of the Nations Championship. Or is it? No, it's not technically.
No, it's not. That's just called the greatest rivalry. So they decided to bring back, because South Africa and the All Blacks, we used to tour, and that was our biggest, games of the year was the tours. And then they took the tours away and changed things, and now they want to go back to the touring. So with this new system or this new competition that's happening, they've just said, okay, we'll do this whole thing, change all the systems that we've had the last couple of years, and then we'll call this the greatest rivalry, and South Africa will play against New Zealand for that.
Yes. Thank you for reminding me. The greatest rivalry series, which is going to have South Africa and New Zealand play a few matches in the series, with the last one being, I believe the one in Baltimore is going to be the last match.
We've got 3 in South Africa before that, and then the final and 4th one here in America.
So yeah, it's going to be a lot of exciting stuff. And again, kicking off the Nations Championship on July 4th is going to be the first round of games. And we've spoken about this, Rifle. I guess the biggest game in round 1 is that New Zealand versus France game. That's going to be, again, 2 powerhouses of rugby. So it should be interesting to see France coming off their Six Nations championship run. And now we have New Zealand with a new head coach. Scott Robertson was let go after just recently. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how New Zealand does against France, being that they have a new coach at the helm.
What's very exciting about this is, I don't know if you're aware of the fact that many times when France do play in these competitions, they send quote unquote a B team. Don't send all their best players, and people are complaining, and it's not, it's not fair to the sport and fair to people who buy tickets and fair to the other teams. But I was reading yesterday that this year France is going to pick their best side, and they're going to bring. So you'll see your Dupont in there, and these guys, Belberrier, and they putting out what seems to be their strongest team. So that's going to be amazing, because now it's not just, as we say, the best All Black side at that current stage against a B team from France. This is going to be the All Blacks against Le Bleu, and it's going to be the top tier teams again, the best guys playing. So that's going to be very exciting about seeing this match. So I think the whole world of rugby is very excited about that prospect, that you're going to see the best of both teams. So that's going to be good.
Yes, I remember we speaking about that, the criticism that the French team receives at times, because they you know I believe you had mentioned this before, Rifle, that when France has to visit a Southern Hemisphere team outside of the Rugby World Cup or anything major tournament like that, we've had instances where Antoine Dupont wouldn't play and other French players wouldn't play for the national team during these matches when they go to the Southern Hemisphere. But yeah, you just refresh my memory that I had forgotten about that. Some of the criticism that the French team received because of that. But yeah, it's going to be crazy. You're going to have top players from New Zealand playing against the top players for France. So yeah, we shall see. We shall see what happens
Yeah,
with
that's
in that game.
arguably one of the reasons why, if the whole world, or the rugby world, when they choose player of the year, people say many times, because some say that Antoine Dupont is the best, but he doesn't get chosen. And one of the reasons are because so few people in the South or the Southern Hemisphere get to watch him play, because they don't watch the club tournaments that he plays in. All they watch is the Six Nations where he plays, and then the World Cup games. But all the other times when North and South, and they travel and they tour and they go to New Zealand and play somewhere else, they send their quote unquote B team. So you do not see the best of Antoine Dupont. That's why he's not easily the world's best player, and he's not mentioned. And if you talk to a lot of people, they're like, who is he? We don't see him. And that's one of the reasons. So this is very good, because it will elevate him in the world views of being able to see him actually play, not just Six Nations and World Cup, but actually now in these tournaments as well. So it's wonderful. It's great. The best against the best, to see who is the best. So it's going to be good.
Yes, yes, it is. So, well, that's another thing I didn't think about as well is, you know, the fact that, him, Antoine Dupont, not going to, not being able, well, what's the way I want to word this? Antoine Dupont not being seen in the Southern Hemisphere has impacted negatively his run for being, the best rugby player in the world, being awarded the best rugby player in the world every year. So yeah, it's very interesting
Mm.
to see. Hey, if he has a good run during this Nations Championship, I know, and on top of France being repeat champions of the Six Nations. Let's see if he gets awarded that title this year. We shall
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
And then another game that I'm sure you're excited about, obviously being a Springbok fan, is that first round. South Africa is going to be going up against England, and it's going to be in South Africa. So
Right.
they're not
At,
going to
at
have to
Ellis Park.
travel.
Yes. So that's going to be, oh, that's going to be beautiful. It's lovely. Can't wait. Counting down the sleeps already. So very excited about that.
So yeah, we shall see. We shall see if the Springboks are able to because we all know that you're also a English fan.
Moving on.
Yes. So I'm sure you're gonna be elated if the Springboks are able to just put a pounding to the English in that game.
We shall
And
wait and
then
see what happens. Yeah.
another game that is going to be interesting to watch is the Argentina-Scotland game as well. Again, we continue to bring this up. Argentina being, over the past decade or so, just when it comes to rugby, just the investment that they've made in their rugby team, the national team. They've made a lot of improvements over the past decade. And then we have Scotland, who had a chance to win the Six Nations this year. Unfortunately, France beat the English in that final game. So it was between either Scotland or Ireland winning the Six Nations. Both teams had a chance of winning. So yeah, that game Argentina against Scotland is going to be very interesting to watch in that first round of the Nations Championship on July 4th.
Yeah, but then we can also never forget Scotland, Argentina in the Six Nations when Scotland was leading
Oh yes,
and was at home and the game was over, and, oh my goodness, they celebrated or took their foot off the petrol too quick, and before you knew it, man, those Pumas slipped in there, and so they definitely want to pay back for that. That was a disaster on their part.
yes,
So this game is following after that, so that's going to be great to remember.
yes. That's. Um, I know a lot of people were talking about that game. One of the greatest comebacks for the Pumas, being down, 21 points
Yeah, three tries,
at
yeah.
and just nothing was working for them, and for them to come back in the second half and
Mm.
take that game, it was an amazing game to watch. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, very good.
So yeah, looking forward to for the 2026 Nations Championships to start again the first year. Uh, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this series is going to happen every couple of years. So every year where there's no Rugby World Cup, if I'm not mistaken.
World
Uh,
Cup and the British and Irish Lions tour.
yes. So essentially, it's going to be every other year,
Right.
if
Two
I'm not
years
mistaken.
other
Every
than
two
those
years.
two, yeah, that's right.
Yes. So yeah, every 2 year. I mean, continue Six Nations. Then we have this every 2 years. We have the Rugby World Cup. So yeah, it's a lot of every year's a lot of amazing rugby, as you know, every year. So in the years that this series does not happen, will I don't know if you know this, and if you don't, that's okay, Rifle. Will the Rugby Championship take place? Is that the
I don't
plan?
know. I don't know. I I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that should be interesting to see if they're just gonna do away with the Rugby Championship, the format they've had up to now currently. So yeah, we shall see. We shall see what happens in that aspect. And
Yeah.
then another major news in the rugby world, I'm sure um, a little sad to hear about, expected, something that was expected when the All Blacks hired a new coach. Tony Brown, who currently is the assistant coach, attack coach for the Springboks, is going to be going to the All Blacks after the 2027 World Cup. Amazing coach. I know you've spoken about him many times, Rifle. He's a great coach. You love him. He's such. You credit him. Uh, you give a lot of credit to him for obviously with the head coach Rossi, But Tony Brown is one of the coaches that I know you've mentioned before. You credit with the turnaround of the Springboks over the past uh, what is it, 8 years ever since Rousey has uh, has taken the helm. So yeah, it's crazy. And I was just wondering, Rifle, if anybody's new to the game or to the podcast, if you could just explain briefly and generally what the attack coach does in the game. Oh, what the attack coach does in the game of rugby.
Yeah, I'll specifically look at Tony Brown as he is South Africa's, attacking coach. What what the Springboks were known for was just hard, just run into the man. You got the biggest guys on the field, and you just run straight through them or over them. There's no running. It's just like going through a wall. And when Tony came in, he started changing that, and they call it now Tony Ball, which is to try and get our wings, which are fast and smaller guys. They're not these big brutes, trying to get the ball to them more often. And then even in the midfield, not just have these big guys, our big centers that just plow through everyone, but actually try and play a different kind of game. Because people used to say South African rugby, it's good, but it's so boring. And you don't have to go and really study before. You don't have to watch any film before you play the Springboks, because you know what they're going to do. They're going to give the ball to the forwards. They're going to try and bash you. They're going to run over you. Then they'll give it to the backs every now and then, and they're going to do the same. They're just going to run into you and try and go through you. But now with Tony Brown there and changing the way that the Springboks played, scoring more tries, just because of it's not that brute force all the time, but it's being able to stretch the ball, play different phases, not just first phase. So when you get the ball, you just run into someone. You get the ball, you run, and before you make connection with an opponent, you pass the ball. Now you got a second phase. And before you run into someone, you pass again. So it's not just that bam, bam, bam old way of playing, but it's now swinging or spreading the ball, running a lot more. So now the teams actually have to go and think about, oh my goodness, are they just going to run over us? Are they going to spread the ball? Are they going to swing the ball? So that's what he's done. He's changed the game plan of South Africa, where before everyone knew what we were going to do. And it's still our DNA. It's still the same. We've still got brutal guys, even in the midfield, and they just pound into you. But we've taken that and we've added a different aspect to our game. And that is Tony Ball. That's what he has done, is just don't run into someone all the time. Use that strength, but pass the ball and see if you can get maybe open spaces on the outside. And that's what he's done very, very successfully. So we are very grateful for everything he's done. But I mean, he came to South Africa. He played for not for the Springboks, but he played for the Stormers. He lived in South Africa. He loves it. So he came over there, him and his family, they were there. But it's always been his dream, as he played for the All Blacks, to one day go back and coach the All Blacks. And wherever he's been, whether it was with the Blues, them doing so well in the Super Rugby, whether it was in Japan, I mean, he's always done so well as a coach. So it was not a question of, how long it's going to be. It's just like how quick can New Zealand get him back to be able to coach the side and be there, because wherever he's gone, doesn't matter what team he has been in charge of, and they've just changed the way they play, and he's brilliant. So very happy for him, in the sense of his dream to be an All Black coach has finally come to realization. It's going to happen. It's just unfortunate that South Africa are going to lose him, but we are very grateful for what he's done. So I don't know if that answers your question.
No, yes, it does. So just from, again, me coming from a NFL, American football background, so obviously not obviously, but essentially the attack coach is equivalent to the offensive coordinator in football, which is obviously the offensive coordinator is the coach in American football that calls the plays and tells, okay, this is the type of plays we're going to run. This is the type of game that will offensively that we're going to play today. So Yeah, that's that in my mind equates to the offensive coordinator in American football. Yeah, just reading on uh, Tony Brown, just reading up on him. I mean, all you hear is good things when it comes to him coaching rugby, and should be interesting to see who replaces him in the Springboks. Uh, uh, have you heard any names thrown out there that you know of off the top of your head?
No, they're talking about because of what happened at Leinster with Jacques Nienaber, that, when they lost the championship game, they won the URC, but the 2 weeks before that, they got hammered and they lost. People were very anti Jacques Nienaber and coming to Leinster. So he even said in the, uh, what do you call it, when they have the after game interview,
Press
he was just
conference.
saying, once you lose the fans and once you lose, then you're done.
Hmm.
So he obviously feels that he's not welcome there anymore. So there is talk that he might come back to South Africa. The thing with that, though, is he's a defensive coach where Tony Brown is the attacking coach. So I haven't heard of anything about them talking about another attacking coach to come in, but the word has been going around that maybe Jock Nienaber will come back and then it will be the same as what it was in 2019. You'll have Rassie and Jock
Hmm.
as the two main coaches there, because now you got Rassie, but you got Tony Brown there as the attacking coach. So I haven't heard anything about an attacking coach, but only time will tell. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, we shall see. And just having Rossi, as we've spoken about him so many times on this program, Rossi just having a, a brilliant mind when it comes to rugby. Uh, I'm sure he's gonna pick somebody uh, that's gonna do just fine when it comes to that part of the game, attack.
Yeah,
So yeah.
he said in an interview, it's actually good that this is happening this way because previously a team wouldn't sign a contract so far in advance. So you would have to wait and wait and wait to see. So it's good that South Africa knows, we got
Mhm.
Tony Brown until the World Cup, then he's gone. So we need to start looking now and we need to start preparing. But I personally believe, and a lot of people say that, is that Rassi knew that Tony's not going to be there forever. So while he's here, we're going to use him and he can do what he wants. He's brilliant. But, even while he's still here, you've got to think about who's going to replace him because as soon as that opportunity comes up to go to New Zealand, he's going to take it and good for him. So I don't think Rassi's sitting at home thinking, oh, what am I going to do now? Now, he's one or two steps ahead. He's already thought of that. So
Yeah.
how to bring another attacking coach in and what they're going to do with the guys, we will see. But I believe that his brain is already way ahead of circumstances and situations that are currently happening.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if he has a short list of people already.
Yes, I believe so. Wait till the World Cup is finished and then we'll see who they bring in.
Yep. So yeah, a lot of exciting stuff in the world of rugby when it comes to international play. Again, looking forward to this nation's championship, inaugural year of that series. And just something to mention to end this episode, Rifle, is that series is going to be interesting because the first half of the series is going to be in July and it's going to take place in the southern hemisphere, home cities of the teams. And then the second half of the series is going to occur in November, and then the northern hemisphere teams will be hosting those series of matches in November. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of great times. Looking forward to seeing you in Baltimore in September and having a great time. So yeah, looking forward to as always, like we always say, a lot of great rugby that has occurred and a lot of great rugby that's in the future.
Yes, most definitely. So you must start practicing for doing a proper braai. and
Oh,
everything that goes with the braai. For Baltimore, we'll see you early in the morning in the parking lots,
yes.
and we will have the fires going.
Okay. Yeah, I'll make sure I get to bed early on Friday night.
If you get to bed at all, Danny, I'll just leave it there.
Well, yeah, that's true. I have to get at least 3 hours of sleep, right? So with that, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Just briefly reviewing set of games this summer, and also the big news. Not you know was expected to most rugby fans about Tony Brown uh, accepting the assistant coaching position for the All Blacks starting in 2028, if I'm not mistaken, right after the 2027 Rugby World Cup. So yeah, again, a lot of great stuff. So as always, thank you, Rifle, for
You're very
teaching the
welcome.
game of rugby to me and to all those sports fans and everybody alike. Rugby
Thanks
is
for
such a
watching,
great
everyone.
game.
Enjoy. It's good games coming, and it's going to be very exciting.
So with that, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this episode. And until next time, take care, everyone.
Cheers.
Thank you for watching this episode of Rugby with Rifle. Remember to press the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet to support this podcast.